Um, this tape is made to cover Sura 113 and 114 in the Korean. They're entitled The Daybreak and Humankind. So I'm going to just read verbatim the first one. Allah, I seek refuge in you. You've made the daybreak. From the separation of the evil that exists, and from that of the night as it grows dark. From the evil of our enemies, and from the evil of an envier when they envy. So, Surah 114, it talks about that subject matter, and it describes God as the creator, the master judge, and the only God. It says that his protection from the evils that are lurking around with whispers from jinn. I didn't know what jinn was, so I looked it up, and Islam described it as real creatures that torture us, and said verbatim in the dictionary, from what is awful or appalling. And I thought maybe that has to do with when someone makes us scream in fear. I also picked some quotes out of the Korean that I like, that I've seen lately. The first one is from the book 22, verse 38, that God defends those who believe in him. And unfortunately, sometimes when I read something, because I've been orphaned, I like what it says, but I wonder how God does this. And so I'm going to read a couple more. The second one is book 24:33. It says, "Do not force slave girls into prostitution for worldly gains when they wish to be chaste." And I know that most of slavery is over now, but there are places where it seems like it kind of exists, and those are emergency housing. That happened to me at New Horizons. This next one is from the book 4, verse 9. "Let guardians be concerned for orphans." So I wondered in Islam, well, who protects you? And it described the person being a father. Well, I received a death certificate for my dad, and my mom, she died about 2004. So I'm hoping somebody is protecting me. Then it says that Muhammad was abused in Mecca, and I don't, I don't want to like what has hurt somebody, but it was comforting because I'm dealing with some issues like that in my own life now. For instance, I went to the hospital, and because I had a hijab on, they told me after surgery, when I was in a bunch of pain, that I had to leave right away because that Muslims frighten people. But it does seem like they've fixed that. It's gotten better. Then also I'm dealing with privacy invasion. But this is from book 90, verse 1. And it says in Surah 38, verse 28, "Should we treat the righteous like the wicked?" And I thought that was interesting. Then the last one, because I so often things like kidnapping and theft or whatever happens, how can things be fair? And the last verse I liked in the Quran is that God never fails, which is Surah 35. But I think if anything is similar to God, it would be the police force here in the United States.